The following is a production of the Dallas Genealogical Society. For more information, please visit our website at dallasgenealogy.org. Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome. My name is Tony Hansen. I am the president of the Dallas Genealogical Society, and we're coming to you today live from the Dallas Public Library, the J. Eric Johnson Public Library here on the 7th floor. And welcome to you, everybody who's here in the room with us and everybody who's joining us from Zoom. We're going to have just a brief business meeting, and then we're going to get to what I know we all really want to hear, which is Judy Russell in just a bit. So bear with me while we run through a few things that we need to talk about. Assuming I can get my PowerPoint slides to advance. There we go. All right, so the minutes from the previous meeting have been posted to the website, and if there are any, you can get to them if you're not familiar with this by going to events, next general meeting, and then the meeting minutes, and you'll see down, oops, too far. So first of all, meeting minutes, are there any corrections, additions, or amendments to the minutes as posted by our secretary who just walked in? Good morning, Terry. All right, hearing none, those will be posted as approved. I also want to point out that we still have a recording from last month's meeting available on the website. This is at the request of the speaker, available only to DGS members. And so if you want to access it, you're going to have to click on that little link down there and log into the website. This is the same user ID and password that you use for all things related to DGS. So you, the password that you use if you log in to pay your membership or do any of those things is exactly the same password that you use here. And that will be available for one more month. And I think that's all I'm going to say there. Guess who forgot to update this slide, Susan? I forgot to update the slide with our treasurer's report, which she gave to me, and I forgot to update this morning. But it's pretty similar to where it was last month. We're in very good shape financially, and as an organization, we're very grateful for all the financial support from everybody who supports our activities. We did spend a little bit of money. You may recall several years ago, we bought that copying machine that is available up on the 8th floor in the genealogy section. It's a rather expensive machine to purchase and a rather expensive machine to keep up to date. And we have agreed to pay the annual maintenance on that. So we just wrote a check for $4,600 and some change to keep the support for that thing going. It does need require periodic software updates, and it is a rather fragile mechanism. And so this is just a cost-effective way to keep it available for anybody that wants to come to the library and take advantage of it and do very rapid scanning of documents and pages and things. So it's available any library patron. You just contact the library and make an appointment. They have a little online training to make sure that you know how to use it safely, and you're off and running. They've got a lot of other digitization stuff up there too, so that's something to keep in mind. We did participate just last week in this very floor here at the Legacies Dallas History Conference. That's an event that happens every year, and I wanted to thank Corey Story and Julie Leon, who staffed our table for us. We had quite a few people come by and stop and talk to us. I was here talking to some of the other organizations, and it was a very beneficial event and very helpful for something we're going to talk about in just a few slides too. So we're glad we participated, and it was very well run and well attended. We are going to be exhibiting at the Dallas Irish Festival, and that's something that's going to be going on just about a month from now. We're partially doing this because, of course, we're having the Ulster Historical Foundation speakers here talking about Irish genealogy in a couple of weeks after this. We thought it'd be a good opportunity to kind of really go with the Irish theme for the month, and so we're going to be there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We are staffing a table. We've got to be there all day, every day. And so if you're interested in helping us staff the table and talk about our society, we'd love to have you sign up. The only caveat to it is that you got to pay to play. So you have to pay to get into the festival. And if you want to staff our table, you're going to have to pay your own way into it. For the price that we're getting is the level of vendor where we don't get free parking, we don't get free admission, we don't get free anything. So if you are an Irish music fan lover, and you're going to be there anyway, we would love to have you come on by and maybe spend a couple hours at the table giving us some help spreading the word about genealogy and all things related to that. So we've divided it up into several shifts over the 3 days. And again, that is something you're going to have to pay for if you want to help us out. But if you are willing to, there is a sign-up section on our website that you can go to under events, get involved, and then volunteer sign-up, and you can pick a session or sessions that work for you, and we would really appreciate that. And that's what the page will look like when you arrive on it. Just click on the North Texas Irish Festival thing. We do have an ongoing cemetery indexing project. We have a database of nearly 42,000 records of burials in some of the family and smaller cemeteries around the Dallas area. And what we're trying to do is to go back through every one of those records and associate a find a grave, a billion graves, and a death certificate link with each record. And so, again, this is purely a volunteer driven event. It's been going on for a while, and we're making good progress. We're a little over 18% of the way through the records. So over the past 30 days, Heather Hall again has been the champion. Susan Younger, Megan Dobbins, Julie Leon, Don Hinson, and Amy Hallbrook. So we thank you for that. Hold the applause. Look at the overall numbers. Look at what has been happening since we started this. So Heather Hall is really at the head of the class and has done tons of it. So again, everybody that has done it already, we really, really appreciate it. Anybody that's interested in joining in on the fun, it's easy. Again, you can just go to our website, get involved, and the cemetery indexing project. I've got several videos up there that kind of explain the process, how to do it. And once you've completed the videos, you just contact me. We'll get you a user ID and a password, and you'll be off and running. So would love to have more people get involved in this and get that to 100% completion. We sent out a leadership questionnaire to hopefully all of you, looking for people who might be interested in volunteering in some capacity for the organization. We have processed the response. We've got about 30 or 35 people that have expressed varying levels of interest, and we've now divided that up amongst several of us that are on the committee investigating this, contacting everybody individually. So if you haven't been contacted yet, you will be soon. And so just thank you for everybody who did respond to that, either positively or not so positively. Something that's just popped up in the last month too is some activity around a small family cemetery out in West Dallas, the Horton Family Cemetery. We were contacted by somebody who's very concerned about some construction activity that's going on all around the cemetery and fear that this is about to go under the bulldozer again. These are some recent pictures that were taken. You can see they do have some construction fencing around it. You can see that the cemetery is horribly overgrown and has been neglected over the years. But we've decided that we would at least try to step in and see what we could do to protect what is still there. This is a picture of the property. You can see that the cemetery itself is surrounded in the red marker down there, and literally all around it is all now bulldozed, and something is ready to go in there. Looks like it's going to be some kind of an industrial park or something. We're not exactly sure what yet. But again, we want to make sure that cemetery doesn't just disappear from view and get lost forever. So that was part of what was so beneficial about being at the Legacies History event here last week. I was able to talk to a number of people, made some great contacts through them, and we're now working with a pretty impressive list of people. So we got Preservation Dallas, the Dallas Historical Commission, the City of Dallas Historic Preservation Office, and the North Texas Archaeological Society all have people who are agreeing to work with us to see if we can't step in and do, I'm woefully ignorant about this, but if the term an overlay designation means, I hope I'm using the right term. Apparently, since the cemetery doesn't have a designation formally as a cemetery, it's just kind of a piece of property right now. The thought is that we can step in and have something done to officially preserve this and give it a designation that's going to preserve it into the future. That's from as best as I can tell from a novice's perspective. That seems to be where this is going. We're just in the early stages of doing this and are setting up some meetings. Mainly, just want to share with you that it's one of the things that we are concerned about: cemeteries, records, and preserving this. It's part and partial to our records preservation legacy and an area of interest, and something that we're actively working on. If you're interested in particular in the Horton Cemetery, we've discovered some fascinating things about it. We've been researching the history, trying to determine ownership, trying to figure out who's really buried there. It turns out there's actually the Horton Family Cemetery and then the Horton Colored Cemetery immediately next to it. Both of these things have varying degrees of records that were kept over the years. It is one of the earliest cemeteries in Dallas County, and so the records are a bit sketchy. And we've learned a lot. We've discovered a lot of burials there that potentially we hadn't caught the first time around, and we're working on that. But there's a lot of information on the website, and so if you're curious to see what's going on, we've been kind of using that as a focal point to keep information up to date and just read some of the things we've discovered and what we're finding out about that. And if you have any interest or background in this kind of legalese and protecting cemeteries, talk to me after the meeting. We could use the help. We do have a number of special interest groups, and we have several of them that have got meetings coming up soon. So again, you can go to get current information to home and the special interest groups and find information about each one in particular. But specifically, we have an African American group that is meeting on the 15th of February. They meet at 2 in the afternoon here on the sixth floor. That's usually an in-person meeting and as well as Zoom. We have a best practices. This is kind of, how do you do genealogy, research practices and things like that. That's meeting here on the 22nd on the eighth floor, up one in the McDermott room. I have a German genealogy group. They meet every other month, and so they're meeting on March 8th at 10:30 on the sixth floor, again in person and Zoom. And they've got some really fascinating speakers. And we track, in this case, they recorded the presenter, and we had a speaker in January with the recording and everything. We've now had, I think, about 600 people actually participate in the meeting in person or virtually. And that's just an indication of just how much interest there is in some of the topics they've been having. They've really been having some fascinating discussions. DNA Group is another one of these that meets every other month, and they meet at 6 p.m. Sometimes they do it in person and in Zoom. Now it's just Zoom. No, oh, it's hybrid. Well, just Zoom, just hybrid, just in person. Yeah. Okay, but you can meet here in the library and watch in Zoom. Okay. All right, so you can watch that either way. But anyway, that's on the 20th of March at 6 p.m. We also have, as I mentioned, a very great presentation coming up. We've got the Ulster Historical Foundation representatives that are going to be here. A little bit of background to these people. This organization is based in Belfast, and they have had, over the years, so much interest in Irish history that they instituted a program of coming to the United States every year and then touring around the country at places and doing presentations about Irish genealogy. It's been going on for several years, and we are fortunate enough to be able to snag them to be here on March 15th. So we're going to have a full day presentation about Irish genealogy. Don't let the Northern Ireland affiliation fool you. They're talking about stuff that applies to all of Ireland because the records were kept, in one place for a great many years before this whole, Northern Ireland, Republic of Ireland splits happened. But they're going to be talking about things for anybody that has any interest in Ireland, Irish history and genealogy, regardless of what part of the country. So that's our normal standard Saturday, seminar, 9:30 to 4:30 type thing. They're going to come back on Sunday on the 16th, and they will do one-on-one individual consultation with you. Now, there's an additional fee for that. On our current exchange rates, it's about $50. That will give you an intense 20-minute sit-down one-on-one with either Fenton or Gillian, both of whom are extremely knowledgeable. My wife actually went over and took one of their courses in Belfast several years ago, and I got to meet them and to see the depth of knowledge that these two people and everybody from this foundation really have. It's an opportunity you don't want to miss. So if you have any interest in Irish research whatsoever, the seminar Saturday, the consultations on Sunday are really kind of a special thing, and I encourage you to take advantage of it. So hope to see you participate in either of those. The seminar, of course, is hybrid again. You can come here. It'll be it'll be in the auditorium, or you can participate by Zoom, or you can just watch the recordings. Well, three ways, up to you. So again, it's the seminar on the 15th. Early registration does end on February 23rd, so if you want to get a good price, register by then. And then the consultations are on the 16th. There's information on the website how to register for that. That's a separate event. So when you go to the website, hit events, the 25 Spring Seminar, you'll see that there's a link under the consultation register, and that will take you to their page where you'll do the registration and all of that stuff. So that's what the page looks like, and that's where you would make arrangements to sign up for that consultation. Just a note, this is considered a foreign transaction, so if you have a credit card that charges for foreign transactions and one that doesn't, I'd use the one that doesn't and save yourself a few bucks there. We do also have a summer seminar going on, tracing your Mexican ancestors on both sides of the border. Colleen Robleen Green, what it says. That will be in July 26th, and again, that'll be a hybrid event. And then in the fall, we've got Gina Philbert Ortega talking about discovering more about our woman ancestors. And those events will both be here at the library. In March, our next general meeting, full disclosure, this is my wife who'll be speaking. Kathleen Murray is going to be talking about Irish research. She'll be talking about discovering a family left behind and talking about some of the record sets and the things that she used to solve the mystery about the Irish portion of her family. So again, that'll be right here. She will be here live in person. Before I end, I just want to thank everybody who makes this meeting possible. Our wonderful tech team, Melissa Fleming, Kim Edge, Paul Feather, Todd Dedecker, Betty, our hospitality, and of course the Dallas Public Library, who makes all of this happen. Wonderful facilities, great AV help, and we're really, really grateful to them for all that they do. But I know why you're all here, and I am too. We really want to hear from Judy Russell. Let me just tell you a little bit about her. This has been a production of the Dallas Genealogical Society. If you're already a member, thank you. Your fees have been supporting these and other society activities. If you're not yet a member, please consider joining now. Go to dallasgenealogy.org and click on the membership tab.